Hello, you're watching Hornbill TV's Prime Time, and these are the headlines. The INDIA, or Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance bloc parties, on Friday adopted a resolution to jointly contest the forthcoming elections to the Lok Sabha in 2024 as far as possible. The union government has constituted a committee headed by former President Ramnath Kovind to explore the possibility of one nation, one election, which envisages the holding of general election and state assembly elections simultaneously. India is set to launch its first space venture to study the sun, Aditya L1 mission, on September the 2nd, after the historical landing of its Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft on the south pole of the moon. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, speaking about one nation, one election on Friday, said that in a democratic setup with stability of government, speedy governance is needed for development, and with this point of view, one nation, one election is a commendable attempt. And now the news in detail. The INDIA, or the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance bloc parties, on Friday adopted a resolution to jointly contest the forthcoming elections to the Lok Sabha in 2024 as far as possible. It was also decided that the seat sharing formula will be finalized by September 30th by the INDIA Bloc Coordination Committee, sources said. The INDIA parties also resolved to organize public rallies at the earliest in different parts of the country on issues of public concern and importance. The meeting, attended by Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge, former party chiefs Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, Nationalist Congress Party Chief Sharad Pawar, Shiv Sena UBT President Uddhav Thackeray, West Bengal Chief Minister and Trinamool Congress Supremo Mamata Banerjee, Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party Convener Arvind Kejriwal, Rashtriya Janata Dal Chief Lalu Prasad, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and Dravida Munnetra Kadakam leader M.K. Stalin, among others.
जल्दी ही होगी और आपको पता चलेगा जिन शहरों में होगी, हर उस शहर में होगी जहां पर चुनावी प्रभाव पड़ेगा और वो मुद्दे उठाए जाएंगे जो चुनाव में असल मुद्दे और हमें लगातार उठाते आए हैं।
ये वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन का जो थ्योरी आया है, ये अपोजिशन पार्टी,
ये एक गुब्बारा है जो फेंका गया है जिससे कि ध्यान बांटा जा सके। असलियत ये है कि 3 कमेटियों ने पहले, चाहे वो पार्लियामेंट की स्टैंडिंग कमेटी हो, चाहे वो नीति आयोग हो और चाहे लॉ कमीशन हो, इस पर अपनी जांच दी जा चुकी है, रिपोर्ट सबमिट हो चुकी है। 2016 के बाद ये सब शगुफे हैं जो छोड़े जाते हैं। महिला आरक्षण जिस दिन लाएंगे हम उसका सपोर्ट करेंगे, लेकिन इनके अंदर दम नहीं है वो लाने का, क्योंकि जो लोग बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ की बात करते हैं उनकी नाक के नीचे सबसे ज्यादा बेटियों के साथ असम्मान हो रहा है, सबसे ज्यादा बेटियों के साथ असुरक्षा है।
आज की मीटिंग का सक्सेस क्या मानेंगे आप? क्या
बहुत सारा सक्सेस है। हमने एक पूरी कमेटी बनाई है, कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी, उसके नीचे तमाम सब कमेटीज हैं और ये सारी हमारी जो है ये सफलता मानी जाएगी। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है जो राहुल जी ने बात कही कि हम जितनी जल्दी से जल्दी होगा एक्सपेडाइट करेंगे अपने सीट शेयरिंग को।
The opposition INDIA bloc, comprising members from 28 opposition parties, took a significant step forward on Friday in its bid to contest the upcoming Lok Sabha elections together as far as possible. After a 2-day meeting in Mumbai, the alliance finalized a 14-member coordination committee which will serve as the bloc's highest decision-making body. The committee's immediate task is to commence discussions on seat-sharing arrangements, with a target to finalize them by September 30th. Addressing the media after the 2-day meet, Rahul Gandhi said today 2 very big steps were taken. If parties on this stage unite, it is impossible for BJP to win elections. The task in front of us is to come together in the most efficient way. Forming a coordination committee and the decision to expedite seat-sharing discussions are 2 steps necessary to ensure that the INDIA alliance defeats the BJP.
Two very big steps were taken. The most important thing to understand is that this stage represents 60% of the Indian population. if the parties on this stage unite, it is impossible for the BJP to win an election. So the task in front of us is to come together in the most efficient way possible. And two big steps have been taken in that regard. The first step is a coordination committee and committees under that committee. And the second step is a decision that we will expedite all seat sharing discussions and decisions and make them happen as soon as possible. These are two very, very powerful steps in ensuring that the India alliance defeats the BJP. The election is very, very clear. I did a press conference yesterday, and the nexus between the Prime Minister and a particular businessman is there for every single person to see. I mentioned yesterday in my press conference that the G20 is taking place, and it is very important for India's credibility, our nation's credibility, that the Prime Minister makes his position very clear and begins an inquiry on what has happened with regards to Mr. Adani. The Prime Minister and the BJP are a nexus of corruption. And that is the first thing that the India Alliance is going to demonstrate and prove. The idea behind Prime Minister Modi's government is to extract money from the poor people of this country and transfer it to a limited few. And so we are going to propose a clear path, development path. We are going to put together a clear set of ideas that will once again involve the poor people, the farmers, the kisans, the workers in the progress of this country. I'd like to once again thank all the senior leaders, and I'm confident that the India Alliance will defeat the BJP. The final thing I'd like to say, of course there are leaders who are much more senior than me, but the real work in this alliance is the relationships that are forged between the leaders of this alliance. And I can say with confidence that these two meetings have done a huge amount in building the rapport between all the leaders and ensuring that all of us work together as one. I can see that there is flexibility among all the leaders in the way we are approaching things. There are differences, of course, but I am extremely impressed by the way those differences are minimized and ironed out. Thank you very much. Of course, I don't want to comment much about the press, but I think Laluji said it best. You're also in some ways restricted and chained, and India Alliance is working to free you from your chains. Thank you.
We'll be right back after a short break, so stay tuned for more news.
Deal weekly lottery kini bi 6 taka te aro chitibo pare 1 crore khali 6 taka 1.5 हफ्ता लॉटरी पत्नी করে দিব আপনার জীবন
Welcome back. India is set to launch its first space venture to study the sun, Aditya L1 mission, after the historical landing of its Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft on the south pole of the moon. The launch is slated for September the 2nd. The launch mission aims to observe solar activities and the effects on space weather in real time. It aims to provide unprecedented insights into the sun's behavior by placing itself in a halo orbit around the Lagrange point 1 of the Sun-Earth system. According to ISRO, the Aditya L1 mission is the first space-based observatory-class Indian solar mission to study the sun. It will be placed in a halo orbit around the Lagrangian point of the Sun-Earth system. ISRO will position the spacecraft within a halo orbit around Lagrange point 1 in the Sun-Earth system, located approximately 1.5 million kilometers away from Earth. The journey to the designated mission site is a staggering 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth and will take about 4 months to cover. Monte College Wokha celebrated its 48th Freshers Meet cum Social and Annual Day at the college badminton stadium on the 31st of August, with 40 AC MLA Government of Nagaland Achumbemo Kikon as the special guest. Speaking on the occasion, Kikon enlightened the students about his past experience of being a college student. He encouraged the students to have a good and positive mindset, as mindset determines the outcome of our result. Comparing the old education course to the new one, he advised the students to take it easy and score higher academically, as with the new semester system, the course isn't very vast. He also emphasized that government colleges have very qualified teaching faculties and urged all students to be disciplined, maintain a good attitude, as that will determine their future. Lamenting at the present election system and how the power of money plays a huge role during elections, the MLA said the public should start electing people who have the capabilities to lead the people and not someone possessing money.
Is an occasion you all would recollect the senior lecturers. This is one occasion where we all know for it. A very interesting day for the students. Those days, our time, that was 30 years back, our senior lecturer. One thing that concerns me as an elected member is the election system. Since young people are here, we have to tell our parents that the system of election and our election system, it's, I'm telling you, there is no better way to respond to describe pathetic. The English lecturers, the English teacher will give us a better word, but I can only remember the word pathetic. Our election system. If who doesn't require money? All of us. We need resources to survive. We need resources to go to school, colleges. Who doesn't? But the amount of money that we invest in voting during elections, the demand from our people to spend during elections, this is something which is going to, it's not going, it is spoiling our society.
Earlier, the principal of Monte College, Dr. Bue Hunle King, in a welcome address informed that the college now has 300 students enrolled, including 145 new students. The principal also stated that the college focuses on making their students academically good as well as molding them to be good human beings and successful professionals. She also informed that the college is set to introduce extracurricular activities like skill development, hospitality and management, tailoring and basic computer classes. On the occasion, late Mondamo Kithan Memorial Award was also presented to Sorenthang Izung, a graduate student of 2023. Monte College for consistently performing well in his academic session from 1st till 6th semester, securing a good percentage. The award was sponsored by late Mondamo Kithan's family. Meanwhile, Tekatong Longkhumre and Shanjobeni Lothawar. We'll be right back after a short break, so stay tuned for more news.
दुनियाते थाक्या साफा पानी कुंतु खाली 0.3% আছে এদুদু খালি খাও
Welcome back. Nagaland's Minister of Power and Parliamentary Affairs, KG Kenye, who is also the spokesperson of the government of Nagaland, while briefing the media after the consultative meeting, said that the state government has made it clear to the Law Commission that the Uniform Civil Code is unacceptable for Nagaland. Our people have been very apprehensive over the contentious UCC Bill, which may restrict religious rituals and observance of certain traditions, he said. The state government had a crucial meeting today on ULB, UCC and Forest Conservation Act at Chief Minister's residence in Kohima. However, no resolution was adopted.
The Uniform Civil Code, as you have said earlier, this is a contentious bill which was already laid in the Parliament in 2020. And the objective and the reasons are clearly stated. In short, they want to have uniformity for all religious groups in this country with a single law which will be applicable to every individual, and the system will be streamlined, cutting across religious sections. Now here, there are areas where many apprehensions have been raised by different religious groups that it may infringe on their religious practices. So besides others, the Christians, being a Christian majority state, our people have been very apprehensive that our ways of practicing any religious rituals or observing the rules of certain religions will be obstructed or will be opposed in ideology and practices also. So you have seen through the press many groups and individuals have already voiced their opinion on this UCC. You remember the state government also have made a representation to the 22nd Law Commission stating our background, the socio-political background of our people, and that the 371A, that is the constitutional provision regarding our state, guarantees that no act of parliament in reference to our social and religious practices will be infringed upon. So basing on that, the state government have made it very clear on behalf of the people of the state that it is not acceptable to us. So in the like manner, today, all cutting across different tribes and CSOs, they have endorsed that same stand, and they wish that this should be passed as a resolution in the coming State Assembly.
Also speaking on the recently amended Forest Conservation Act 2023 amendment, Minister Kenya said that the approach of Forest Conservation Amendment Act cannot be accepted by Nagas. He said Article 371A guarantees that the ownership of land and resources belong to the people of Nagaland and not Government of Nagaland nor the Government of India. The extension of 100 kilometers from the border into our state is not at all acceptable, he added.
Other is the Forest Conservation Act, the latest amendment of 2023 is a stand which is an approach which cannot be accepted by our people also. So it again goes back to the Article 371A, where the Constitution of India guarantees that the ownership and the land and resources shall belong to the people of Nagaland. So this is, as I was saying, not the government of Nagaland, nor the government of India. And as it is, we have more than 95% of our forest land belongs to individuals and communities. The state government as such may have hardly 5% or less to its credit. So the will of the people stands out. Here too, it is in one unison that they have expressed this extension of 100 kilometers from the international borders into our state will not be accepted. And because the land and the forest belongs to us, this is our decision, and the same should also be in the coming assembly taken up as a decision and passed as a resolution of the people through the State Assembly. That is the second.
On urban local body elections, the minister said that a new Nagaland Act, Municipal Act, is on the works and will be presented in the coming session of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly on September 11th. The 33% reservation for women has been more or less accepted. Other inclusive omitted words like taxes will be rectified. Fees or donations will be collected by the wards, town councils, municipalities, and these fees will not reach the exchequer, he said.
The third is the ULB elections, urban local bodies elections, which was repealed on the 28th of March this year by the State Assembly. And the government has been assuring that it will lose no time in bringing about a new act, an act of our own for the municipal councils. That is under preparation. Today, the draft proposal could not be brought to the consultative meeting because it is under serious review, and it will have to undergo the scrutiny of the cabinet, the government, and the panel which has been formed also. And with further consultations before the State Assembly starts, the final draft will be prepared. But it was extensively deliberated, and the 33% reservation bill for women's has been more or less accepted by one and all, that it is, it will be okay if we have the reservation and conduct the elections. So the other areas where it matters, like exclusion, omission, deletion of certain words like tax, which actually does not go down well with our people. So those will be rectified, and it will be presented in a different way, where the people should understand that whatever fees or in the forms of donations will be collected from the people, the citizens of those wards falling under the municipalities or the town councils, will remain with them. This will not come onto the state's exchequer. So after these explanations, and with many suggestions, very good suggestions from them, the final touches to this draft will be made, and we will be bringing the new law for enactment to the Assembly this coming September 11th. Those were the areas which were extensively discussed, and our learned counsel, the Advocate General, has given a very, very clear picture about the present situation where we are in, and he has also outlined certain opinions and suggestions which the government may follow while trying to achieve all these issues.
And that was all for this hour's bulletin. For more news and updates, stay tuned to HornbillTV. Goodbye.